Guys, we're going to take a look at this Kubey Ku322, and this is a really fun knife. Some people are calling it the budget Arius. I'm not really seeing it. The blade shapes might be a little similar, but for me, that's pretty much where those similarities end. So not to talk about it too much here, you guys know what time it is? Turn down the volume because here comes a little bit of music. So this came from Jared over at Neves Knives. I carried it a good bit. It didn't take me very long. It stayed in my pocket a lot because it's really comfortable to cut with. So I cut down a lot of cardboard. I did some wood cutting. I had some tasks and stuff that I did, cut up an old garden hose. I didn't film any of it, but good cutter, really comfortable. So didn't find too many things wrong with it. So thanks to Jared for sending this over. Guys, I wanted to reiterate, if you're one of the paying members, I have a gilded server. There's a link to it in the community tab. It's a chat server where we all hang out. If that's one of the benefits you're interested in, when we get to the end of the video, think about joining the memberships. So yeah, we're gonna turn this around. We're gonna get some specs, we're gonna get some weights. We'll talk about how it feels in hand, how it cuts, the action, all that. So let's turn this around and take a look at it from above. Guys, let's get into the specs on this real quick. But oh man, the action on this thing is great. So what do we got here? This is the Ku322. You're looking at an overall length of 8.15 inches. The blade length is 3.39 inches. It's a drop point in D2. It's flat grind with a stone wash finish. They have the blade's thickness listed at 0.12. Let me go ahead and get on this. 0.124, 1.225, 1.23. Real close behind the edge on this. I'm curious, I haven't measured this yet. A lot of times I will measure this ahead of time. So right behind the edge that Jared put on this, you're looking at 0.0325. So not super thin, but it does cut really well. It's got a nice broad blade, and a lot of that has to do with that super aggressive edge that Jared put on it. All I had to do so far with it was just kind of hit it on a ceramic rod. Handle length on this is 4.76 inches. And that is in a steel liner lock with G10 scales running on ceramic bearings. And the action on it is really, really good, really smooth. Kubey's just been knocking out of the park lately. Look at that pivot, beautiful pivot. So the last spec here is the weight. Let's go ahead and go get the scale. So they have the weight listed is 4.91 ounces or 139 grams. So this can give you a chance to see how accurate my scale is. Let's do the grams first. They say 139. What am I getting here? 139. So apparently my scale is accurate-ish. 4.91 grams. I imagine it's going to come in close. I figured it was either going to come in close to 5 or at 5. So 4.91 grams. What was that? 4 7/8. Not horribly heavy for a knife this size. So let's go ahead and get the scale out of the way. Jared sent this to me. He said he liked it. It cuts well. Now I do know you can see where the original pocket clip sat, that the original pocket clip was a little bit longer. I'm not a fan of this pocket clip. This pocket clip is a hot spot for me. I actually took it and put it on the left-hand side and carried it a little bit that way, and I actually carried it without the pocket clip, just in my cargo pocket of my sweatshirt, just to get a feel for how the knife felt in hand without that intrusive, really tall pocket clip. Not a fan of the really tall pocket clips if they hurt my hand. It does have a lanyard hole if that's something you're into. The action on this is really good. The action on this is really, and it's not clean. I haven't cleaned it up. I did a lot of cutting, had a lot of stuff I did with it. It held up well. Now, a lot of guys are comparing this as a budget Arius. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get a picture here and try and put a side-by-side so you guys can see it. Big difference between this and the Arius. Let me go ahead and get that picture and I'll show you so you can kind of look at it.
So honestly, it's kind of similar in blade shape. And I would say not so much that it's similar in blade shape. It has a blade aesthetic that is really similar to the Arius, this aperture, and then that fuller that goes the rest of the length down the blade. It might have some similarities aesthetically, but I think that just that blade is where it ends. The Arius has a really different handle shape and everything like that. Now, I am not at all saying that people are wrong if they're wanting to make a comparison to the Arius, because it does cut very well, similarly to the Arius. I think the Arius's blade looks a little bit more similar to the Archbishop from Fair and Forge's blade than this. It's a really much more similar blade shape. But I can kind of see where they're making comparisons. I really like this knife. It's a little bit big. It would be my only thing. It takes up a lot of pocket space because it is really large. Just looking across the spine, you are looking at one point at its widest, from spine to, from liner to liner, 1.32 inches, almost 1.33. It is not a little knife. It is a big, beefy knife. But the fact is that makes it really comfortable in hand to cut with. You can get really good purchase on this and push through. This cut through cardboard really well. And I think a lot of it had to do with not just, like I said, it's not super slicey. It is basically just that it allows you to get a grip on it where you can maximize your force to cut with. And then on top of that, like I said, Jared put a very aggressive edge on this D2 that has held pretty well. I did have to just touch it up on a ceramic rod just to give it a quick touch up and strop. But champ when it comes to cutting. I cut up a garden hose. If you guys have ever cut up a garden hose, you know that they're really stiff and hard. No problem. It just popped right through it. I probably should have filmed that, but I didn't. The way it feels in hand is really similar to some other large. To tell you the truth, it feels in hand a lot like a fixed blade because it does have those ample handles. The only thing that kind of just throws that off is the pocket clip. And then, once you close it up and put it in your pocket, it is taking up a lot of space. But the thing is, it's not really heavy for as large as it is. 4.91 ounces is not super, super heavy. The only other thing I did notice, and I do know a couple other people have said it, I don't know if it's just a design feature, the blade does sort of, let me zoom in so we can get in. It ever so slightly favors the lock scale. And I've seen two other people talk about that in their videos. Yeah, I knocked it out of alignment. I did not lock the I didn't lock the tripod all the way in. Yeah, it favors it a little bit and just ever so slightly. So, I've seen, I think Big Red mentioned it and someone else. I saw two other people that mentioned it kind of favors the show scale, but it's not even close to rubbing. It's not like the pivot is loose or anything. If you had a two-sided pivot, you could probably walk that a little bit, tighten one side, then the other, then tighten one side, then the other. You loosen one side, tighten the other. You can do that with knives that have double-sided pivots. You can't really do that with this. The G10 is good and grippy, really, like I said, I would probably try to find a replacement pocket clip for this. The fact that it is kind of recessed, I think would be hard. You would have to get something really similar to this. That's my only thing that I don't like about these pocket clips that are like this. You would have to find something that would marry up and have long enough screws to get through it. I don't think you'd be able to do it with like one of the artisan pocket clips, that are on a lot of their knives. I've got one in my pocket. A lot of their stuff is hidden hardware. It's screwed in from the inside. So yeah, guys, I mean, there's not much else to talk about on it except for the value. Looking at it at $50, you're getting a lot for your money on this. You're getting a big, beefy knife, good action, good cutter, comfortable in hand. It's not unattractive. It comes in multiple colors. They've got a blacked out version. Aesthetically, it's good. It's got a stonewash finish. It's not going to show wear too much, but on a $50 knife, really, this is something that's going to be a workhorse. So guys, that's it. Let's turn this around, do some final thoughts. I'll get you guys out of here and on your way.
So, like I said in the video, everything about this was pretty good, except I'm not a fan of the pocket clip. I took the pocket clip off and carried it a little bit like that. I actually flipped the pocket clip and put it on the other side. That wasn't too bad, but then you're limited left-hand carry. Like I said, cuts really good. So all around good knife. I'm digging some of the new Kubeys. I have another one that just showed up that was a gift from Sharif Manganis. His knife design with Kubey, the 344, I believe. So guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe. I don't know what's going on. It seems like people aren't getting notifications. I don't know what's going on 100% with that. So just check and make sure, like, I put up a video pretty much every day. I'm not doing premieres anymore. Other ways you can support the channel if you want to financially, I have a membership down below in the description that gets you in on a bunch of different benefits, including that chat server I was talking about. We've been having fun with that. Exclusive content, a premium tier sharpening tutorial series, and you save $5 per knife on my sharpening service, which basically puts it at $20 plus return shipping. Other ways you can do it, I have affiliate links down below. Anything you purchase, I get a portion of it when you check out. I have a bunch of stuff built down there, knives, stones, all kinds of recommendations. And the final way is I have a merchandise store that I've set a coupon code up for you that is on Ember Shirt Co. And the coupon code is CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 10% anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. And if you take pictures of you wearing the merch and send them to me, I will put them in the videos. Guys, that's it. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. It helps me moderate the channel. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.